down the futures, I mean, there's still lots of money to be made in Bitcoin. I'm not saying you can't make money in Bitcoin, but I am saying I have a bearish long-term outlook on Bitcoin.
And I respect that, and there's no wrong with that. But because it takes two different opinions to make a market. So we don't have a market if everybody thinks the same thing about the same asset class.
Right.
Yeah, because I was going to short Bitcoin. I don't know, months ago. I just couldn't find the right vehicle to do it. Because I didn't like a lot of the exchanges the way they were set up. But we seen Bitcoin hit a support at around, say maybe 15, 16,000. That's its hard support. Nobody wants to sell it under that price yet. Now, if we have the Black Swan event, that may happen. But we've seen for an extended period of time, Bitcoin hit that $15,000, $16,000 support. It won't get lower. I wish it would. I wish it would fall under 10,000 so I could buy a lot more. So we got to figure out now, does it totally collapse in the near future, which wouldn't bother me at all? Or does it move up off that support and, either trade sideways, consolidate to start to move back up as it's done? Because what we see with Bitcoin is we get a lot of boom bust with Bitcoin. It's either booming or it's busting, but it's rarely consolidating long-term on a particular price, except if we go back to like the old days of Bitcoin.
Well, I mean, right now, Bitcoin follows the market. If you look at the NASDAQ or SPY, well, technically NASDAQ, SPY, and the Russell follow each other, right?
Yeah.
But Bitcoin was supposed to allegedly follow its own path, which we find is obviously not the case.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you want a hack to trade in Bitcoin, see what SPY is doing. If SPY is up, chances are Bitcoin's up.
Yeah.
Vice versa. If SPY is down, it may be about a dip day for Bitcoin or any crypto. I mean, that's how I've been trading it. Another one I like that's an actual crypto that a lot of people don't know about is VRA.
Okay, VRA,
which is they deal with commercial advertisements with the professional sport leagues.
Okay.
I mean, I was on them 4 weeks ago now, something up like 300%.
Okay.
Crazy. And another shortcut for you guys, if you guys aren't good with chart reading or whatever, I personally stick to the weekly charts when it comes to crypto.
Okay.
I don't look at any other chart. No need to. I strictly stick to the weekly chart when it comes to crypto.
Okay, what exchanges are you using to trade on them?
I use KuCoin, KuCoin. I like KuCoin. I think that's actually the only one I use. KuCoin, and I use that's the only and crypto.com.
Crypto.com. Do they allow ACH transfers?
Yes.
Okay, because that was my issue before when I was trying to show Bitcoin. They wanted a wire transfer. And I was like, I only do ACH transfers. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But now crypto.com, I don't like their charts. KuCoin is linked up to TradingView.
Okay.
And you can just look at any crypto you're interested in on TradingView. I mean, I recommend that.
Okay.
But if you guys not good with technical analysis, if you guys not that good at it, if you buy Diamond Dave's course and you at me, I'm in there. If you at me, I'll help you with your technical analysis.
Okay. Appreciate it. So let me ask you a question about it. Are you shorting? Are you buying the asset? Or are you playing it with derivatives? How are you trading it?
So in KuCoin, you have futures and you have assets. A lot of my crypto, I'm buying the asset, but I also do the futures sometimes. So my favorite futures, I trade. I'll trade Gala futures, but I also use futures as a kind of like a hedge, like it's supposed to be used. So, for example, if my capital ain't right and I don't want to put that much into the asset, right? I'll put the leverage, and this is for my more advanced traders right here who understand this stuff. You can use up to 20x leverage. I may use 5x leverage, right? Put say $1,000 in there, and use 25% of my capital, and just swing it.
Okay.
Right. So I get the same effect as if I have, you know, what's 250. I get the same effect as if I bought $1,000 worth of Gala, the asset, but not put as much capital at risk or not tie up as much capital.
Okay.
Now
So
the downside to that is if, let's say, Gala tanks, like, you know what I'm saying, just loses 50%. Well, then you risk possibly losing that money. But if your leverage is low, like I'm recommending, right? It took me a long time to get this. If your leverage is low at 5x or, you know, maybe 2 or 3x, something like that, and you use 25% of capital, it's really, really hard. It's really hard to not withstand any drawdown.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I use it typically. And like I said, that's advanced stuff.
It is.
You know,
Are you
but
using
it's a great hedging strategy,
when you do that? Are
and
you
it's a
using a
great way
margin?
to get exposure to the asset, right? Without tying up as much capital, because Gala's 5 cents right now, going on 6 cents. So, you know, $1,000, if you wanted to hit like 50,000 Gala, you could, you know, but you don't want to do it in a way that doesn't tie up, you know, a couple of $1,000. You know, you could put in 1,000 or maybe what? I forget I can't really do the math off the top of my head. Maybe $2,000 or $3,000, 25%, 5x leverage. That'll probably put you at about 50,000 Gala coins exposed. You'll get about the same exposure as if you bought it directly.
Okay.
And still benefit from the swings as if you had 50,000 Gala in your account.
Okay, so let me ask you real quick. So you're using a margin when you do that? That's a margin account?
Now that is margin in futures, yes.
Okay.
But
So
you can actually buy Gala itself, right?
yeah.
And I didn't know this till my guy put me on to this, but you can actually do what's called leverage tokens, right? So leverage tokens is just like, if you know what TQQ is, I know you know what TQQ is, right? In the stock market, you get the benefit of using leverage without the downside of being liquidated.
Okay.
So if Gala goes up a point, if you're in the 3x Gala token, then you get 3 times the move. But you're also protected from being liquidated on the downside. That's the difference between the token and the futures, because futures, you can really mess some stuff up, okay? And you can really mess some stuff up. You can blow your account. You can be liquidated.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so that's good that you brought those to the table. And so you believe that those cryptos are going to move up?
Absolutely. Matic,
Okay.
Gala, BRA, BAX.
Okay.
Now, BAX, okay, if you're a fan of XRP, right, with Ripple, if you're a fan of Ripple, you know, I'm not crazy about Ripple. My brother is. He loves Ripple. He thinks it's the next centralized world currency. I don't know, but I do know BAX is already regulated, right? So if you want to talk about capital efficiency, guys, and I've been talking to my other peeps about this, capital efficiency. If you believe in XRP, which is around 39 cents right now, right? It's not regulated yet. Then you should definitely have you some BAX, which is already regulated, right? And right now, I mean, if you go look at the weekly chart, it's exploding, okay? But and it's like 0.0006 cents right now.
Okay.
So I mean, as far as capital efficiency, you literally get the same thing for way less capital being tied up with way less capital, you know. And it's like I said, it's already regulated. It's already they're already being used. So if you believe in XRP, go check out BAX. BAX. One of my favorites.
Okay. So let me ask you. So you believe when this Black Swan event happens, these are going to be the cryptos that are going to be the most in use because of the Black Swan event?
I believe all crypto is going to go down, but
Okay.
the cryptos with the real business models, such as the ones I just told y'all about,
Okay.
and there's more, but I'm, but the cryptos with real business models are going to withstand it.
Okay.
Okay. Like I said, everything's going to go down with the Black Swan. That's just the
Okay.
way it is.
Okay.
But it's who makes a reemergence, right?
Okay. I
Who
see what you're
comes
saying.
back, and it's going to be the ones with the real businesses. You know what I'm saying? If anything, the ones I just listed are going to be. I'm going to look at it as buying opportunities.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
It's no different from when it does happen. The stock market's going to crash. Inflation will go back to 2%. Hell, we may even go back to negative rates. Depends on how bad it is, right?
Yeah.
And then we're going to rally again, right? And like I said, and I know it kind of goes against because I'm bullish on this year altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, I'm bullish on this year, but I know that there is with the timing, we're due for a Black Swan event.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm not necessarily as bullish on this year, but I do agree with you that we're going to have a Black Swan event. I think that the timing is going to be a lot shorter than what it's been historically. Because what we're looking at is every 10 years.
Right.
If we say that 2020 was a Black Swan event, I think now we're going to start running on a 5-year or later cycle. But from a market-based standpoint, how are we defining Black Swan? Are we defining a 20% sell-off in the
You know what? I
or
know every time 50%. If you look at
50%?
the charts,
Okay,
and this
50%.
is technical. You can go look at any Black Swan event in history.
Okay.
The market has always at a minimum sold off at 50%.
Okay.
Right. And right now, if you look at the 200 moving average,
Yeah.
we need on the, I think it's I'm not sure if it was the weekly or the monthly chart. It might have been the monthly chart. We're right at that point. We need to come back down 50%. It'll be a 50% drop if it came back to the 200 moving monthly average.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Okay.
So
So we
about
know
280. So
we're
about
looking
280
for,
or so.
okay.
I believe the next Black Swan event is going to drop SPY back down to 280, 250.
Okay.
You'll see $80. You're going to see $80 Apple, and I wish you could pull up a chart and I'll show you. But if you guys just go look at the monthly on the SPY, and then you go look at Apple, and you look at that $80 range right there, you'll see a huge gap. That gap has to be filled.
But
and I think it will be filled.
Now, I agree with you there. But you think it won't happen until after 2023?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen this year. I mean, I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
I don't think I was expecting it to happen already.
Okay.
But I was looking at the chart, and I seen where it hit a major support at around the 120 area, just like last month, and we got that quick rally off Apple. Because I was expecting to go down to 80, and I've been telling everybody, man, we're going back to 80. We're going back to 80. I've been screaming at the top of my lungs, we're going back to 80, but that support caught it and rejected it, and then it turned bullish.
Yeah.
And then I was looking at SPY, and when I seen that cup and handle, a cup and handle. Okay, so some people argue that the market follows fundamentals, but I actually think, I think the technicals include everything, right? And I think it's a precursor, right? As you say, if you look at the SPY right now, you look at the weekly, you see that cup and handle. Well, for us to break back into a bear market, it has to break below the 350 area.
Yeah.
But it hasn't broken beneath that. Right now, today, as we speak, it's actually completing the cup and handle formation. Cup and handle, it goes like a Nike check, come back down, and it shoots up.
Yeah.
Well, we're in that come back down moment as we speak, and then it needs to shoot up.
Yeah.
So the formation is almost complete. It's almost complete and ready to rally, and I think we're about to rally again.
Yeah, I can agree with that. What we're doing right now is just a retest of that low. And if it hits that low and it bounces up, you're right, it's gonna rally. It's gonna rally really hard too.
Right. And like I said, I'm calling for, and this is me, it's not financial advice. Exactly. I'm just telling you guys what I'm doing.
Yeah, I feel you.
What I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm preparing for all-time highs. I'm loading up right now on all these. I'm particularly focused on small caps.
Okay.
because I feel like that's the best capital efficiency, right? Small caps, and my favorite cryptos, you know, and something I'm doing right now, and I've told everybody and my people, hey, don't worry about selling any crypto until it breaks underneath the 30 moving average on the weekly chart. When it closes, I mean, it has to close, not touch it, not none of that. If it closes beneath the weekly average, the 30 weekly average in crypto, sell it, take profits, no questions asked. But until then, you know, you can look at almost any crypto right now, and it's especially small cap. Okay, we're in small cap season.
Okay, so let me ask you a question before we get up on out of here. How do you see a bullish, and this is, I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just trying to make sure the audience got a better understanding of your analysis. If inflation doesn't go down, what is the market rallying off of?
Well, if inflation doesn't go down, I think that hopium. I think inflation. I believe, okay, that we do go down some. We do go down some. You know, but like I said, I believe with this whole Black Swan event. Now, this is the conspiracy part, okay? I believe there's a bigger agenda to keep the dollar in power. And that's going to be the narrative that drives the Black Swan event. I don't think it has nothing to do with inflation. I think the Black Swan event is going to be used to reach an agenda that they can't accomplish otherwise, right? Okay. But that's just conspiracy, and that's just my personal opinion. Okay. It's my personal opinion. And it's not going to be about inflation, this Black Swan event.
Okay, but let me ask you, but I'm talking about like this year in 2023. Right. So you're saying that you believe 2023 is going to be bullish, but my question is that if inflation doesn't go, like we got another CPI coming out next week. I think it's Tuesday. So what the market, in my opinion, has already kind of priced in is that inflation is going to go down to 2% this year. So my question is, what's going to drive the bullish activity if inflation doesn't go down? Because if inflation doesn't go down, it's definitely going to impact consumer behavior.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what do you think? So let's say a narrative where inflation doesn't go down to that 2% that everybody has already kind of priced into their market analysis. That's why they're so bullish. What if it doesn't go down? What if we just keep getting like 6% or 5.9% prints the rest of the year?
Well, let me ask you this. So I saw the jobs report last week.
Okay.
And it seemed suspect because, you know, you hear about all these layoffs, right? These tech companies cutting thousands of people. Well, how is it that they're cutting thousands of people, but yet there's the lowest unemployment rate ever?
Okay, so that's a great question. So one of the challenges we're having is that during the pandemic, we lost a lot of service. And also small business owners lost a lot of people. So that's really where the issue of employment is at. It's not with the big businesses like the Apples and these big cars. It's really with the small businesses that really are the largest employers in the United States, right? And so they're having issues hiring people. They're having issues keeping people because of what they got to pay them. And then in the service sector, because we lost so many people because of the pandemic, they're having issues ramping that service sector back up. So like Disney's cutting 7,000 people, but Disney has 77,000 people that work for them. So they still got 70,000 people working for them. So that's one of the biggest issues. So one of the things why I think employment is so resistant to what's going on is because a lot of what I would call the real small business owners, they have a hard time hiring people because they got to pay them so much. And the people they do have, they can't afford to lose them. Right. Where Amazon ramped up so much during the pandemic, they went from like 700,000 to over 1 million. Hell, they can cut 300,000. It doesn't matter. So I think that's one of the issues. But was what you're saying about with the employment, is that going to relate to the inflation? Because my question is that everybody has priced in inflation going down to 2%. It may not, but if it doesn't, then where do they take the market? So I understand if it does, okay, yeah, we just keep going up. But if it doesn't, because one of the challenges we have is that if China opens up, they start drawing more demand on energy. Wouldn't that raise inflation across the board because energy costs go up?
Well, I'm gonna tell you based on what the Fed is saying. The Fed is watching the wage spiral, the wage growth and spiral.
Yes, sir.
And as long as there's no wage spiral,
okay,
I say we stay bullish. Now, if we start seeing a wage spiral, that's when I'm wrong. But personally, I'm not worried about another quote unquote bear market unless the 350 level is broken. Or the 3,500, that's the SPX. If the 3,500 level, if it comes back down there, okay. But until that happens, as long as that structure is in place, that's telling us what the market thinks.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like I said, our opinions, we lie, but numbers don't lie. And for me, you know, that's my cue. If that breaks, then we're going for the long drop.
Okay.
You know, but as long as that holds up, then that cup and handle, which is a bullish sentiment, that's why the cup and handle. And for you guys that don't really know much about technical analysis, patterns and stuff, it's just sentiment. That's all it is. It's a visual representation of sentiment.
Yeah.
Right? That's all patterns are. And the cup and handle has historically been one of the most bullish sentiment visual representations that exists. Mm-hmm. Right? So as long as that cup and handle is intact, I'm bullish.
So let me ask you a question. Do you have a resistance level on the SPY? So I know you got your support. You got a resistance level?
Well, if we can break 420, if we can break right now, 420 that's a very sentimental level.
Okay.
If we can break 420, then I think we go up to 430, come back, retest it. Mm-hmm. And if it holds, then we could potentially, like I said, that sends us up towards the 4,400, 440 mark.
Yeah.
Now, if we break past 440, we go into 500 by the end of the year.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
but you know, I've said this as well. We could consolidate for the rest of the year. We could range for the rest of the year. We could, as long as we stay above the 400 level. You know, I'm okay with that too. You know, because I mean, I'll be looking at the monthly chart, and the monthly chart is a huge time frame. It's huge. So it's nothing for us to consolidate. Hell, we can consolidate the rest of the year before we break out or break down.
Okay, I understand. So let's do this real quick. I know you got a YouTube channel. You do a lot of technical analysis. Where can people find you on YouTube?
I've actually slowed down. You know, I've been really deep in these markets. You know, if they want to reach me, the best way to reach me is either in your course or because I'm very active. I'm very active on his Discord, guys. I'm extremely active. Okay. Or on my Twitter. But I'm more so on his Discord than anything because that's, I don't know, just what it is.
Okay, I need to link with you. I need to link up with you on Twitter because I'll be on Twitter too.
Yeah, THD at THD 1993.
Okay, I'll link up with you. Yeah, I'll be on Twitter too. So I need to link up with you on Twitter because I'm trying to build out more on Twitter. So we might have to do like a Twitter. I don't know what's like a live stream on Twitter. Because I think the audience that it will definitely tap into what you're saying. They on Twitter.
Yeah,
they there. Trust me, because I'm on Twitter. So that's what I'm saying. So the audience that are really tapping into what you're saying is on Twitter. I just want to make sure that we came up with something that people could see was tradable. What you gave from a crypto, I know you really know that crypto backwards, forwards, and sideways, even though we disagree on Bitcoin. But I hope you're right about Bitcoin. I hope Bitcoin goes to $0 so I can buy all the Bitcoin I need to buy. So I really do, because I missed my opportunity like a decade ago. So I I hope you're 100% correct about that, because even if it don't go the way I want it to go, it won't bother me anyway. But I hope you're 100% correct about Bitcoin, that it bottoms out and I can buy as much as I want to buy at a cut rate price so I can ride it back up. So I'm not trying. I don't want you to be wrong. I want you to be right about Bitcoin.
Well, you know what you said? You know, you said best. We can both win.
Exactly.
We don't have to be right or wrong. We can both win.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but I know you know that crypto space really well, because I don't know it as well, because I'm just really into Bitcoin. I'm not really into other cryptos. So I'm glad you was able to provide that information about those really solid companies in the space that actually have a real business case around what they do. Because people can hear that and they can start to do their own investigation, and they can kind of learn more. Like you said, they can hit you up in the Discord to get more information around that and having a better understanding how to trade it. And I was glad you was able to give your analysis on you being bullish about the spot, because I do agree that I think we're in a retest right now. And if we pass the retest, I will believe we're going to go back up to maybe 420, 425. But we also probably going to retest those lows again. So I think the market is kind of trying to find what direction it wants to go in, because the market wants to be bullish.
Right.
It does. That's how the market is built. It's built to be bullish. So last year, a lot of people didn't like it because the market is designed to continue to go up and expand over time. So we got to get up on out of here, because I got to roll into another video. But I appreciate you coming in, and I'm glad we was able to give people something that was actionable. People know where they can find you, and then what we'll probably do is follow up with you probably like in maybe the later spring or early summer, to kind of try to figure out, have you been able to reevaluate your analysis?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. So make sure you stay safe out there.
I appreciate it, DD. It's always a pleasure.
No problem.